Good morning, everyone. The Delaware County Commissioner meeting for March 15th, 2018 is now in session. Would you stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Harold, I'm going to ask you, as a veteran, would you like to lead us?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but it seemed appropriate. We do have a hearing set for 9:45, but we'll do it at the conclusion of our agenda. Proceed.
Resolution number 18-262, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceeding from regular meeting held March 12, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 18-262. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis? Aye. Mr. Bitton?
Aye.
And I believe we have Harold Wolford public comment this morning. Is that correct? Harold? Mr. Wolford?
Very brief. Harold Wolford, President of Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 1095. I would just like to thank you guys for your sponsoring of our trailer last year. It is complete. We had intended to unveil it, introduce it at a commissioner's meeting, but the winter has been kind of nasty. We will have it at the Vietnam Veterans Day event on the 24th, well, on the courthouse lawn. You can see it, tour it, whatever. So with that, I'm also would like to invite the commissioners and the general public to attend the function, which is March 24th, a Saturday at noon. We're not asking you to speak or do anything, just be there as a general public to see the event. And I have some flyers for you guys.
Thank you. Well, that's a neat.
That's all I have. Just wanted to thank you for your support and invite you to our event.
Harold, thank you for bringing this to our attention. And if my schedule allows, and I trust it will, I will look forward to being at the event.
And thank you for approving to let us have it there.
Sorry?
Thank you for approving to allow us to have it there.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Proceed.
Resolution number 18-263, in the matter of approving purchase orders, then and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CMA PR 0314. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 18-263. Mrs. Lewis? Aye. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Bitton?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-264, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 18-264. Mr. Bitton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis? Aye. Resolution number 18-265, setting date and time for viewing and public hearing for consideration of the Kingston Township Watershed number 2017-2 drainage improvement petition filed by Dave Smith and others. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 18-265. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Bitton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis? Aye. Resolution number 18-266, in the matter of extending the filing date for the filing of plans, reports, and schedules for the Riboff number 620 watershed drainage improvement petition project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 18-266. Mrs. Lewis? Aye. Mr. Bitton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-267, in the matter of approving the purchase of network firewall installation services. So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. George Keitza, Delaware County Auditor. Commissioners, first of all, I would like to begin by thanking you for passing the resolution that will allow us to use the YouTube for streaming video. And, of course, this will enable us to put our Commissioner sessions on on mobile devices, and again, in our continuing efforts to promote transparency with respect to county government. Secondly, I wanted to, and of course you're all aware, we have continued to maintain a secure network. We've introduced a new banner to alert all staff about incoming emails from external sources, to be cautious about opening any of the attachments. We've also, Steve Lewis, our Data Center Director and Chief Technology Officer, has introduced a new procedure where on every weekend all of the computers on the network will be updated with the latest version of our security, any security updates that we receive. And thirdly, we are here to request your approval for the Presidio firewall. And with that, I'd like to ask Mr. Lewis to come up and join me, and if you have any questions with respect to the firewall or the contract.
Good morning. Yes, so currently we're running on a 5-year-old Cisco ASA device, which has done great for us. Obviously, knock on wood, we haven't had any issues, but it was time to update. You guys generously funded the new device in the budget process last year and funded it in January when we got our budgets awarded to us. So we purchased the device. This is simply for installation services to come in and assist us with the configuration and rollover, because the current device, it does a lot of things. We have a lot of VPN tunnels, such as with Sprint, which provides the connectivity for all of our sheriff's cruisers. We have corporate tunnels with a lot of other agencies, Sunbury PD, Genoa PD, North Point Title, a lot of the pump stations for sanitary engineer's office. So when we do this conversion, there's a lot of potential for problems. So we're asking for a little assistance to come in and help us with that. In addition to those improvements, this device will be in high availability mode. So if the device were to fail, it would automatically fail over, so that we don't have that downtime if it were to fail. In addition to that, there will be a phase 2 of this project. It's not included in this statement of work. Phase 2 will be taking that high available failover device and moving it down to our DR site in Worthington, so that if we had to vacate this building, we would still be able to have VPN access for our cruisers out to the internet and to our CAD and to leads and all of those sort of things. That gets a little bit, or actually gets a lot more complicated, because then we need another internet connection down at our DR site that would still be able to route traffic as if it were here. So again, that is going to be phase 2, but there probably will be another statement of work coming at some point in the near future. So, one other thing, this device also has a lot of threat protection in it. So you guys have obviously funded the firewall appliance that we have today for anti-malware, spyware, Trojans, all that kind of stuff. This also does that. So at least for the time being, they're going to be in service together. So they're kind of competitors in that market. So we're going to have double the protection. The question will become is what's that maintenance cost us when the FireEye appliance renews? And I do believe that's this fall. So we'll kind of evaluate that and see whether we think this Palo Alto device can handle it all 100%. They say it will. I believe it will. It is a next generation firewall. So we'll just kind of take a look at that when the time comes and see what that maintenance cost looks like. But so, any questions?
What kind of life do you think the Palo Alto devices?
So usually plan on about 3 to 5 years. Yeah.
Was this budgeted?
It was. You funded it last year in the budget process. We purchased the device. In fact, the PO is already open for this services. The tricky part came when they needed a signature on the statement of work, and obviously we don't have the authority to do that, so it's coming to you. So there is still a balance on the PO that was approved earlier this quarter.
Just thank you.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, the challenges that we all face today with cybersecurity, and counties are a special target, so thank you, Steve.
Thank you for supporting it.
It is unfortunate that we have to take these steps, but in the world we live in today, not everybody's honorable, so unfortunately. With that, vote.
Vote on motion 18-267. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thanks, George.
you.
Thanks, Steve.
Resolution number 18-268, in the matter of adopting a contract for global positioning system electronic monitoring services and equipment for Delaware County Adult Court Services.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion?
Morning, Commissioners. Mark Taglione on behalf of Adult Court Services. I'm here this morning to request approval of a GPS contract with Attenti U.S. to begin on April 1st, 2018, and it will end on December 31st, 2019. Our current contract that we have is with 3M, who was bought by Attenti, so it's essentially the same company that we are using now. And basically, I sent some information to the board in regards to the price decreasing a little bit from $365 a day to $320 a day, so it's a little cheaper, and also they're going to provide better monitoring through their monitoring system. So I'm asking that that be approved, and if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
I always like to hear about a decrease.
Sure, sure. Have other counties gone to this GPS-based system?
Yeah, a lot of counties are using GPS monitoring. Our office uses them for the judges, puts a lot of people who on pretrial supervision instead of keeping them incarcerated in jail. We'll put them on GPS monitoring while they await going to, trial or if they plea. So the judges utilize that a lot, and our officers can utilize that at any time also. It doesn't have to be just ordered by the judge. We can, if one of our offenders is not doing what they're supposed to, we can lock them down in their house. It also protects victims in some alleged crimes to keep us in notice if they're coming close to proximity of the victims of an offense as well.
Okay, well, good.
You gave us a thorough review of the history, too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for reading it. I appreciate that.
Vote on motion 18-268. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Do you need the original?
Resolution number 18-269, in the matter of approving the sanitary sewer improvement plans for Howard Farms Section 1, Phases A and B.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion?
Board of Commissioners, Tiffany Mag with the Regional Sewer District. This subdivision is located near the intersection of Old State Road and Cheshire Road. 44 homes are in this phase, and the plans have met our requirements, and we're requesting your approval.
How many are in this phase again?
44.
44, okay. Thanks.
Southwest corner?
It is,
That'll be-
thinking it was on the southwest, correct, yes.
Yeah.
Just south of Cheshire Road, yeah.
Okay.
Vote?
Vote on motion 18-269. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Thanks.
Resolution number 18-270, in the matter of approving supplemental appropriations for the Delaware County Emergency Management Agency.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion?
Good morning, Commissioners. Sean Miller, Director, Delaware County Emergency Management. Several weeks ago, I gave kind of a brief synopsis of where our safe room project stood, and that is what this supplemental appropriations is pertaining to. We now have the notification from FEMA via Ohio Emergency Management that the additional grant funds, both federal and state, are awarded. Additionally, there are $216,803.38 from the original grant award, which was not appropriated. I thought we would be further along in the process, going into 18 than what we were. So some of this is from the initial grant award, and some of it is an amendment to the grant award, an additional amount. And so that total of $363,000 and some change is the combination of those two. And I thought that it would be easier to do both, in one fell swoop than doing two separate supplemental appropriations. And just to give you a very brief recap, the EMA Board approved the additional funds to be used in the project. This is not a request for any additional county funds whatsoever. And this will enable us to do more with Ohio Department of Natural Resources' share of the funding. They have agreed to chip in up to $120,000 of their own funding on this project, and their funding will be able to be utilized more on the things that the federal grant will not pay for. And the federal, what I mean by that is the federal grant is very narrow in focusing solely on the shelter aspect itself. But it's so narrow that it won't go to pay for things like paint or even carpeting, things along those lines. So this additional funding will enable us to utilize more of ODNR's funding for some of those things that are needed but would not be funded by the federal grant award. At any rate, with that, I'd be happy to entertain any questions you might have.
And you know my position on this, which
Yes,
is
sir.
consistent with the original vote. I don't think this is a good use of taxpayer dollars, so I will have to vote against it to be
Sure.
consistent. Whether it's county dollars or federal dollars, it's still taxpayers' dollars. So.
Sure.
Well, this is funding for a severe weather shelter at Delaware State Park, and I do believe it's necessary. So I'm going to vote for it.
Vote?
Vote on motion 18-270. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
No.
Mrs. Lewis?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, John.
Mr. President, what would you like to do?
Well, we actually, let's go ahead and get the reports out of the way, just so I can make it a little cleaner. Mr. Palmer.
I have nothing to report today.
Well, that makes it even cleaner.
Yeah,
doesn't
that'll
it?
make it easier.
Commissioner Lewis.
Vietnam Veterans Organization, which was here earlier, Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 1040, no, 1095.
1040, it's tax time.
is going to have a meeting tonight, and at that meeting, they are going to honor Larry Klein. And so I'm going to go. It is at, let me see, it's at 6:30 p.m., and it's at the Wendy's just south of town, the same shopping center that Kroger's and Walmart is in.
So it's at the Wendy's location?
Yes, at the Wendy's location, right.
And what time?
6:30. And that's all I have.
Commissioner Benton.
Just a few things. First of all, I listened to a CCAO webinar Tuesday morning on guns, marijuana, and background checks. I don't know if, Dawn, did you listen in on that? Jonathan Downs was the presenter, and I just kept shaking my head saying, this is so complicated, and the rules and regulations and laws and interpretation are so complicated. That's what I walked away from it with, was this is an area that is so complicated and unsettled. But anyway, we'll continue to work on those, I'm sure. The state of the county, I have to mention that since this is our first meeting since we had the state of the county on Tuesday, and that went extremely well. Heard nothing but great feedback. I want to thank Jane, Sarah, Jennifer, Jenna, Linda, and there was a whole team that
Cast of thousands.
Sherry, yeah, yeah, and then we had 170 or so attendees at Hamilton Williams, and again, it went very well. The video was great that Travis Reese put together of Delaware County. So I would encourage everyone to go to the website, the county website, and look at that video. It's 4 minutes long, and it's just beautiful. Just a lot of aerial drone shots. So again, it was very well done. I want to thank everyone, and it was very easy for us, I thought, to be the speakers, since there was so much good material to talk about, and the program went so well. Let's see, I think Commissioner Merrill is talking today at the State of the County at the Chamber event, so I'll let you cover that.
I thought that was a question.
If I said no, you
we're
were
in
going to do
big
it?
trouble.
Yeah, well, Barb would cover it, I'm sure.
Okay, good.
Going to a CCAO Tax and Finance Committee meeting this afternoon, which is always interesting because there's a lot of major stuff going on, whether it's equipment, the Board of Election equipment, this new proposal to change the local government fund, eliminate the local government fund and have the state take over the Board of Elections, and indigent defense, to see where a lot of those major initiatives are going. I am meeting with the Northwest Neighborhood Association this evening here in Delaware, and that is to talk about the historic jail and just make sure that they understand that we have no intention of tearing that building down or allowing anyone who may buy it to tear it down, and let them know that there are a number of things where we may be able to help through the Finance Authority, through the Community Development Block Grant, may be able to help them get some funding to renovate that building and turn it into a much better use than sitting empty, which is what would happen in the future if we didn't do anything. And lastly, and most important probably, is the NCAA tournament starts at noon, and the Buckeyes are on at 4. So those of you who don't have DVRs can go out at lunch and get DVRs and record all the games. So that's all I got.
You're going to work that in around golf, I guess.
Well, yeah, there is golf tournaments this weekend too, so hope my DVR has capacity to record all this.
I have a number of things. I'll start with this morning. This morning we had the official signing of the Entrepreneurial Center. It was done, I think the Delaware Does, I believe is the name of the group, and it was done at the Oak and Brazen, and that was done at 8:30 this morning. And so I guess it's signed, sealed, and delivered, and we're now official. And I was my first time to be in the Oak and Brazen. I was very impressed with the work that's been done on that building, and it seems to be a great addition for the city. A number of other things. Commissioner Ben and I attended the Area 7 DKM luncheon yesterday for our sub part of that region, and that was a good meeting. You have a meeting tonight at 6:30. I have a swearing in for the new DD board member at 6:30, so I will not be at that event. And please give my apologies. And you're also busy tonight, so we all have a commitment tonight. I'll add a little more about the state of the county today. This is State of the County, really part 2. It'll be a little different format today. Mike Fromer and Bob Lamb will both be involved in the program, and we're going to talk about things that are a little more specific to this area of the county. There is so much going on in this county, so much to be proud of, so much that is made possible by people I see sitting in front of me here, and a lot of people that are very instrumental in making this county what it is. And today is just a continuation of that, and we look forward to sharing all the great things that are going on in our county. Have a 911 board meeting today at 2 o'clock, and tomorrow at 10 o'clock is the CCAO board meeting, which I'll also be at tomorrow at 10 o'clock. With that, I guess we're ready for the hearing.
Resolution number 18-271, final hearing for the Wedgewood subdivision sections 2, 3, 3A, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, drainage maintenance improvement petition project.
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Benton, second by Commissioner Lewis. Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 18-271. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 18-272, in the matter of approving for a specific occurrence, a suspension of Rule 3, speaker registration, Rule 4, limitations, and Rule 7, public comment procedure from the rules governing public comment before the Board of County Commissioners of Delaware County, Ohio.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 18-272. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
With that, let me kind of go over the rules of the road, so to speak. And so basically, again, this is the final hearing of Wedgewood subdivision sections 2, 3, 3A, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9. There is a sign-in sheet that's circulating around the room, or will be circulating around the room. We ask that you please sign in as a participant in the hearing. We will have a review of what will happen today, and that's what's occurring at this time. We're going to hear a report from the county engineer and Soil and Water Conservation District. Then we'll have questions, if any, from the board. We'll hear from all those that are in favor of the petition. We'll hear from all those that are opposed to the petition. And during the testimony, you'll be asked to take an oath. We'll continue back and forth if new information comes up or additional people wish to speak. They will take questions from the board for clarification. And then after listening to the testimony and the report of the engineer, the board will decide whether to find in favor of the improvement, affirming the order and confirming the maintenance assessments, or the board may dismiss the petition by setting aside the order. And in making these decisions, the board considers the following in their decision: whether the board hereby finds that the proposed improvements is necessary, that it will be conducive to the public welfare, and the board also finds that it is reasonably certain that the cost of the proposed improvements will be less than the benefits. With that, I'll turn it over to.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brett Bacon, Delaware Soil and Water Conservation District. According to your council, it is not necessary to read the final hearing report into the record as we are required to with the first hearing. So without hearing objection from the board or from those in attendance, we'll bypass that, and I will just present a summary of the high points from the first hearing report.
Go ahead, proceed.
The petition was filed on July 11th, 2017. The general location and course of the requested improvements is stated on the petition as follows, quote, commencing in Delaware County, Liberty Township, in Wedgewood Subdivision, Section 2, 3, 3A, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, generally following the existing course and terrain of the improvement in this subdivision, Exhibit C. The petition specifically asks for to replace, repair, or alter the existing improvements as required and to maintain their improvement per the attached Exhibit C and engineering plan. The Delaware SWCD performed an inventory and evaluation of the existing drainage infrastructure. No significant deficiencies were identified that would require corrective action prior to acceptance into the county drainage maintenance program. The current value of the original improvements is estimated at $2,780,425. The per lot share of the current value based on 417 lots is $6,667.69. A 2% collection would be requested to begin in 2019 if the project is approved. This would produce a per lot special assessment collection of $133.35. The engineer's recommendation, and I will read this verbatim as it is in the final hearing report. Based on all of the information gathered for this petition request, I believe the petition should proceed. It is my opinion that the benefits of the proposed petition exceed the estimated maintenance costs and would be conducive to the public welfare. Should the Board of Commissioners choose to move forward with this project and affirm the order to proceed, I would request a separate resolution that the Wedgewood subdivision be accepted into the Delaware County Drainage Maintenance Program and that the schedule of assessments be approved and confirmed as submitted. I would also request a 2% collection rate be certified to the Delaware County Auditor for special assessments for the Wedgewood subdivision to begin in January 2019. If the Board of Commissioners chooses to dismiss the petition, I would recommend a resolution reflecting that decision and that the costs for the proceedings, including the costs incurred by the Board of Commissioners, the county engineer, and the Delaware Soil and Water Conservation District in making the reports and schedules be distributed to the benefiting landowners in the same ratio as determined in the final estimated assessments presented at this hearing. I'd be happy to answer any questions the board might have at this time.
Just one point of clarification. I think it's probably understood. The $133.35, that's an annual assessment.
Correct, perpetual annual
It
assessment.
might be good to state that just so there's no misunderstanding. going
Absolutely,
forward.
yes.
Someone could look at that and think it's a one-time assessment.
Sure.
Any other questions or comments?
Did you, I guess the question I have for you, Brett, is did you, as you did the detailed work, you know, what was your impression of the status of the infrastructure?
The infrastructure is an exceptional state. The staff identified some manholes and catch basins, am I correct? Catch basins and manholes that will require some new risers, some that are buried in landscaping. The total estimated amount for that is $5,729.91, which an amount would easily be covered by that first year's special assessment collection.
So overall, you're comfortable that maintenance
Yes.
will protect it going down the road?
Yes, yes, that is correct.
That's good. It's good to hear.
Thank you, Brett. At this time, if there are no other questions from the board, we'll hear from all those in favor of the petition. You will need to be sworn in and identify yourself and give us your address, then I'll swear you in.
Good morning. My name is Greg Tunis. I'm president of the Wedgewood Homeowners Association. I live at 4885 Paddington Way in Powell, Ohio.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Proceed.
Commissioners, good morning. If you'll indulge me, I have not seen Mike since he took his new role. I'd like to congratulate Mike. And I'd also like to thank Milt Link and his staff who have been so helpful during this entire process. Anytime we've had a question, they've been Johnny on the spot. And also Jennifer Walraven has been a great help. She has responded to every request that we've had. I would encourage you to pass this petition. We have worked very hard throughout this process to keep our members informed and to make sure that there was the opportunity for them to ask questions, not only of people representing the county, but members of our board. And we have had very, very few questions or comments coming from our members. After we had a few people show up when you toured our neighborhood. We had a few questions outside of those who attended. And then as your second letter came out announcing this meeting, the board has received no questions or comments from any member. I believe Milt he told me this morning they received a few questions, but I think the lack of questions and the fact that we went overboard in making people aware that they could provide us with comments or questions suggests that there's support for this action. And so again, we ask that you consider approving this petition. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who wants to speak in behalf of the hearing in favor of the petition? Anyone? Okay, we'll move to anyone who would like to speak in opposition to the petition. Okay. Are there any questions from the board? If not, I see no reason we can't move to closing the hearing.
Resolution number 18-273, in the matter of closing the public hearing to address the Wedgewood subdivision sections 2, 3, 3A, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 drainage maintenance improvement petition project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 18-273. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Comments?
Sarah, I would just like to have you read the resolution, then affirming the order.
Resolution number 18-274, in the matter of the Commissioners affirming the order and confirming the assessments for the Wedgewood subdivision sections 2, 3, 3A, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 drainage maintenance improvement petition project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion. Vote.
Vote on motion 18-274. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Aye.
With that, comments from the board before we take care of
This was a pretty straightforward one. It's great to see the existing infrastructure in good shape. You know, with the program, it'll be maintained in perpetuity because this is a lovely neighborhood and great, you know, beautiful shape. So it's good that we're able to maintain that.
Good example of cooperation. Thanks so much for all your help and also for informing your members. There are a lot of people involved in this petition, so we really appreciate that too. And obviously, like you say, you did your due diligence and your work and got the word out. So.
And I'd like to just mention that it's great to see it because it does border or circle 2 golf courses that will be maintained and preserved in excellent shape going forward, which is very important. So. So I'd mention that.
Golf courses are big for Mr. Fitton. So I just like to add that I think it shows great stewardship on part of the board, Wedgewood, and the long-term benefits to Wedgewood are great because something you can lay aside, you know it's going to be taken care of, and you can go worry about your lives and let others who are much better positioned to handle this. So I applaud your board and your neighborhood for realizing the importance of this. I have another comment. We have one of the 3 people you mentioned was Milt. Milt is going to be retiring shortly, and since he's sitting here in front of us, I'm going to embarrass him. And I'm going to tell Milt, my time on the board, I have always been impressed with how you've handled yourself, the decorum and the knowledge that you bring to the table. And I hope you enjoy your retirement, but I'm going to miss you. So,
Is this our last chance to see him?
well, I didn't know when I could see him again, but he's sitting here in
I
front
don't
of
know
me.
if we have any
well,
hearings
So I
scheduled.
thought I'd take advantage of it.
Hopefully, he'll be back before you retire.
He has an event later.
All right. Okay.
Okay, with that, vote?
We already voted.
Yeah.
Voted.
Yeah.
Voted.
Voted.
And I don't think we have anything else other than go into executive session.
Executive session, yes. Resolution number 18-275, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of employment of a public employee or public official to consider the purchase of property for public purposes.
So moved.
Second?
Motion made and seconded, discussion, vote?
Vote on motion 18-275. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye. We are now in executive